Meantime, there's a new study from SDSU. It reveals what is driving the demand for food assistance right here in San Diego. Researchers surveying more than 1,000 recipients of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank. And here to talk about those results and also their efforts to try to make sure everyone has enough to eat is the nonprofit's CEO, Casey Castillo. Good to see you, Casey. Thanks for coming by.
Good to be here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of different subject matters for this study. One is the economic impact that the food bank has on San Diego. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we wanted to obtain good and vital information that would help us make decisions and meet the needs of this great community. So we deployed a survey with SDSU, a great partner of ours. We wanted it to be rigorous. We wanted it to have high standards, and it certainly does. And so we did this for really two major reasons. The first one, as you mentioned, is to determine the economic impact our services have on the county. So we know what the value of the food is that we distribute throughout the county. We can place a retail value on that. We think it extends a little bit beyond just that retail value. So if those recipients can then, in turn, direct their dollars to paying for rent, or utilities, or health care, there's a multiplier. And we were able to determine that goes up as high as $134 million throughout San Diego County each year.
Teresa just did a story on the homeless. I mean, you might be keeping people from becoming homeless because they're getting that food, and now all of a sudden they can use that money they're not spending on food for rent, for things like that. When you say you put a value on the food, what is the value?
So it really depends on what the product is. We actually don't pay retail in most cases.
Makes sense.
And so one of the things we found in the survey is that we pay about 34% less in cost than others do if they're going to the grocery store, because we buy wholesale and we leverage our network to obtain the product.
Let's talk about the characteristics of the individuals and the families, because I know you asked a lot of questions. Are you employed? How big's the family? All kinds of things. Tell me what you learned.
Yeah, so you're right. So the second part of this is we wanted to better understand our recipients and their needs. And so we asked questions like, why are you utilizing our services? How long are you using? How frequently are you utilizing those services? How far are you traveling? Household size, household income, and job status. We learned some interesting things that we got confirmation because we felt like we understood them, and other areas where we didn't know as much as we thought. Some interesting things like 76% of those respondents using our services right now are saying they need to because of rising costs. So inflation, right? We're all seeing it. They are having to come to us because they can't keep up with those costs. 45% are utilizing our services because they're not making enough. Their salaries are not keeping up with cost of living and inflation. And so they're coming to see us. And then 25% are seniors living on a fixed income.
Let's talk about some of those questions that you just said. How far are they traveling to get the food?
Yeah, so we learned about 50% are traveling 3 miles or less to our distribution sites. Now, we'd like to see that percentage increase and the distance decrease. So again, learning from that study, we can deploy now strategies to decrease that travel distance.
What percentage have jobs?
So that's the other thing that was a bit surprising. We're serving about 400,000 people, a little bit more than that each month. And we've always communicated that that's mostly the working poor, families and individuals that have jobs. We learned that 73% of our respondents that are not retired have either full-time or part-time jobs. We didn't know it was that high.
How much are they making?
So the average household income right now of our recipients is $24,000.
Okay. And is it mostly families or individuals or a little bit of both?
It's mostly families, but we serve children living in poverty, individuals, military and their dependents, seniors. We're serving everybody.
Are you learning that these families or individuals are using your food bank services kind of on a regular basis? Once a week they're coming and picking up food? So
they are, and we're learning that they're visiting us at least once a month in our sites and our pantry partners.
Sure.
The other thing that we learned is that about 60% of them have been utilizing our services less than a year.
So it's fairly new for a lot.
So these are new people that are needing to utilize the food bank and our food pantry and partners.
What about age and race? I know you looked at that too.
Yeah, so majority are Hispanic. The age is about what you would expect, and it follows the demographics and the census that you see in the San Diego County.
I don't have the notes in front of me now, but I know that there's English speakers, Spanish speakers, and there was another language
Tagalog.
in there. What is it?
Tagalog.
What is that?
That's a great question.
Tagalog.
Tagalog. Yeah, I think Filipino
Okay.
and others that speak Tagalog.
Sure. Any other information that you thought was interesting or fascinating that you got from it?
Well, what I'd say is that we're going to use this information now to educate the public, to make sure that people understand what those facing food insecurity are facing right now and the challenges they're facing. Yeah. We're going to now deploy new strategies in terms of distribution.
Sure.
If there are any gaps out there, we want to fill those gaps. We'll mobilize our vehicles and our mobile pantries to go directly and target those areas where we find gaps.
And just a reminder, I mean, you basically just, if you have a car, you just drive up and pop the top and somebody will put the food in. There's no questions asked. Nobody's kind of questioning you or doing anything like that, right?
No questions asked. Yeah. Again, visit our nonprofit partners. We have over 200 direct distributions where we load up our vehicles and go straight to a site. And if you need food, we will help you with that.
And if somebody wants to donate, that's always helpful, right?
Absolutely. We could not do what we do without the community support. That's monetary donations, that's food donations, and certainly volunteering.
Casey Castillo, great to see you, Casey.
Thank you.
Thanks for doing all the hard work for everybody out there, really helping them out. I mean, you're touching a lot of lives, a lot of families, really are. Hunter?